Data Hackathon organized by the Ghana Statistical Service. I'm sure you have heard enough about this program already. So we are only here to go through the rules of the game. We do have rules for every game. This hackathon also has 4 rules. So we are here to outline the rules first of all, officially. The activity starts sometime today and end by Friday, 10 a.m. So without wasting much time, let me introduce a few people I know here. First of all, we have the teams here, with the exception of the side, which I like we have here. So we hope they get here as early as possible. My name is Senior Statistical, the digital scientist with the Ghana Statistical Service. And our directors here who you have engaged earlier, and I will still want to introduce them. Benefit of those who get that engagement. I have Dr. Orosukeja, who is the Director for Business, Industry, and Statistics, Ghana Statistical Service. And then I have, go ahead, Chief Jacqueline Gediano. You can call her Auntie Jacqueline for short. And she's the Director for Research and Data Science Directorate, Ghana Statistical Service, getting support. And then I have Mr. Michael Bepping, who is the campus lead for this local competition. Then I have my colleague Peter Yotonomelaru, who is also a data scientist. Together with me, I have Mr. Charles Abenu from the regional office, Greater Accra Statistical Service. I have Jennifer Jamesi, who is with the publicity unit, media publicity, Ghana Statistical Service. Then we have Sylvester Idegwe, who is interning with Ghana Statistical Service, specifically in data science. So we also have Mr. Nante, so the GSS team is heavily represented here. And our mission this afternoon is simple, just as communicated for us. We want to have a statistical data hackathon. And maybe as we go through the rules of the game, we'll get to understand what the hackathon is not. And I think that is going to be the focus. Most times when you hear hackathon, the competition is in the thing is where people want to hack. But they are going to combine with marathon and hackathon. Hacking and marathon. And then the top putting it together. And then we have the hackathon, right? So that is what we want to do this very moment. So I wouldn't want to waste much time. Fortunately, maybe when the campus coordinator gets to introduce his colleagues who are helping in the coordination here in Accra University, and also those who will be acting as mentors, helping us to mentor the participants for the 2-day event. So I want to invite the Director for Research and Data Science in the person of Chief Jacqueline Gediano, who is also the second ever Chief Statistician in the whole of Africa. Please give it up here. Thank you. I will put an official statement so we can fix that. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you, Simon. Good afternoon, colleagues. Good afternoon, team members. Please, let's relax. Okay, on behalf of the Government Statistician and Management of Ghana Statistical Service, we welcome you again to the second phase of this Accra Technical University Statistical Hackathon. We've had the opening session already. A lot has been said about the objectives, some being we expect to see some innovative products which will drive policy. And then also the products should be scalable and then be able to use data, Ghana data, from the Stars Bank and even from micro data and data within to come out with these products. Then also, though this is a competition, at the end of the day, we expect to get a winner for this campus. It's not just any competition, but it's competition with benefits. Benefits that will open you up to industry. You collaborate with members and then have networking and then also share ideas to bring out your products. So without wasting much time, I will say we'll open this second session where my team will take you through the Stars Bank, the data in there. Please ask questions to understand the data, what is behind it, the concepts, understand it to use it. Because come Friday, some of the data that you are going to use, there will be questions there. The judges are going to ask you some questions on the rationale for using those. But you should understand the data that you are using, confidence in it. And I believe at the end of the day, Friday, you'll come out victorious. Any of you can come out victorious. So relax and let's take it up. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Director. We're grateful for the words of encouragement. So, as you already indicated, we're going to have two major events in this particular session. The first one is to walk you through the rules of the game. And then the second aspect is where we are going to introduce you to the data portal you are going to be using in the development of the solution we call Stats Bank. So I'll start by introducing to the rules, and then once we are done with the rules, we go to the Start Bank, and then we can start engaging on that level. As Madam said, it is important to understand the concepts behind the data taken from the Start Bank. Is that all right? Statistical service has a lot of data sets sitting on our website, Start Bank, but you don't just pick any data and use because they are numbers. You need to understand what each number represents and how that number also came. So that if you are explaining it, people can clearly understand what it is. So let me use a few minutes to walk us through the rules. So as we indicated, GSS wanted to ensure that we have our users use data, or we want to demystify the concept statistics and how difficult people think statistics is. And for that matter, GSS decided that let's develop that brings data usage trend. And we came up with what we call the Start Bank. Maybe if I introduce you to the Start Bank, you get to understand what I'm talking about. So we wanted to publicize the Start Bank, and as a result, said let's institute a campus level hackathon, which saw us start last year. So last year, as you may already have been told, we visited 5 traditional universities. And this year, we are visiting 6 technical universities. And Accra Technical University has been one of them. So that's why we're here. Now, the most important thing is in this particular hackathon, we are not going to hack. We are not going to hack DSS website. I know some of you are software engineers, software developers, programmers, and you want to hack our website. But you don't even have to try it because you cannot, right? So we're going to see how we can use data DSS how to develop innovative solutions. So when we say solution, I believe in our minds it's clear what kind of solution we are talking about. We want to develop solutions that are innovative and can help us solve societal problems. Are you okay? Now, we are allowing participants to define the hackathon the way they want it, right? Like I said, we are not hacking, but let us have fun with data and come up with something innovative. You can develop an interactive dashboard. You can develop a web application. You can develop um, an app, a mobile app, whichever app you want to do. You can develop a policy paper in this particular hackathon. So you are free to develop whatever you want to develop. The only caveat is that you must use data from the start back. Now, that may seem like a restriction, right? But the fun part of it is that you are not restricted to use data only from the start back, but you must use data from the start back. You get a difference. You are not restricted to use only start bank data, but in whatever you develop, start bank data will have what feature. Whether you are using the start bank data to build your problem, to motivate your problem, and use any other data source of Ghana, whether from Ghana Statistical Service or any, it is still allowed. Are you okay? So that is what we mean by interpreting the hackathon the way you want. So once we introduce you to the start bank, then you begin to conceptualize the kind of solution you think you can come up. And I'm sure some of you may have already conceptualized. It is clear in your mind the direction you want to go already. You only need to be introduced to the data. So we are starting now and finishing on Friday by 10 a.m. Today is Wednesday. And what we do is that once we get to the campus and we introduce them to the tool, we ask them to start their conceptualization. We don't want to restrict that. And this is not an exam where supervisors are going to be on you that no foreign material is allowed. No. This hackathon, you are free to use any material, any tool you want to use. You can even go home and watch it. You are not restricted to stay here and work under strict supervision. That is not it. So it is going to be a very flexible engagement. So you can use the time the way you want it. Whether you want to work for 5 hours and sleep for 2 hours, wake up, work for 30 minutes and sleep for 20 seconds. It is your time. But you are going to be working for a maximum of 36 hours. And within the 36 hours space, you should be able to develop solutions that are innovative. Don't be a perfectionist. Now, the reason we instituted this particular statement is that participants will be trying to make sure whatever they are doing is so perfect, it is accurate, right? Mind you, you have only 36 hours. And in 36 hours, do what your strength and capacity can allow you to do. Is that okay? Don't try to be a perfectionist. Don't say you want to make sure you do everything, you want to finish everything. And that is why Madam made a point that you are developing solutions scalable. Did you understand that statement? Solutions are scalable. It's not a solution that has no future. So you are thinking about innovations that will guide you to develop a solution that we can scale it up for Ghana. You are not only developing a solution for ATU. You are building a mobile app on something. It should be something that we can always. All right. Okay, so that is what we are saying. Work within the 36 hours, bring all your ideas on board. You are fresh minds. You can do a lot within the 36 hours. Well, 36 hours is enough, right? The sky is the limit. As I indicated, you can do a visualization that is helping people relate well with data easily. You may want to develop a policy paper. The choice is yours, as we said. But the only caveat is that use data from StatBank. If you are comfortable with the StatBank data to the extent that you can use that alone to develop the entire solution, that is fine. But if you think the StatBank data can help you build a problem, use it to motivate the problem and build a solution using other data sources. That is also fine. Are you okay? So it is not a restriction, but it's just a necessary condition you must meet before. Now, we are going to be with you. Myself, Peter, Sylvester, and your mentors. And I'm sure every team has a mentor. We are going to experience what we had already at Technical University, where the competition was now among mentors and not the participants. But I hope at that Technical University, if you think another team mentor can help your idea, you can call to actually assist. This whole idea of mentoring is not restriction that you must be mentored by your mentor. There was an idea that let's bring people to come and help the teams develop their solutions. Is that okay? So from GSS side, myself, Peter, and Sylvester are going to be with you. But I may not mentor due to one or two reasons. We will disclose that later. But if I have to mentor, but if you need any data set you can't find on the Start Bank, you think you can request for it from us. And fortunately for us, for today, the custodian of every data in Ghana is in our midst, so we don't have any problem. She's the custodian of every data. You can take Ghana science, can send it back. So if you need anything, just ask. If you need data, yeah. So the mentors are going to help you. And as I indicated, you see us from GSS and also your lecturers are going to. Now, the only thing is that the mentor cannot sit on your machine and start coding for you. Maybe some of us, the languages you are going to use in developing your solutions, we don't write in those languages. There may be limitations. Is that okay? But I can also guide you maybe on the thinking process. Is that all right? So maybe you want to develop something and you speak to me, I guide you on how to go about it. That is what mentors are going to help you. But if a mentor can also help you in your coding advice, how you code, maybe which language he thinks can help do the work easier and better, then the mentor can also do that. Right? So the mentors are going to be, you are not alone in this journey. Just relax, as the director assured. We are going to have fun with data. We are not going to fight. Just that at the end of the day on Friday, some people will win, others will not win. Even 2024 election, somebody will win, another person will not win. Is that not? In every competition, there is a winner. Yes. If you don't win, you are not going to be the first loser. That is what we should be accepting. Okay. So at the end of the 36 hours, we expect the teams to package whatever they have developed and submit. So there's going to be a time restriction at that point. You submit after the deadline. It's just like assignment within the best. You submit your assignment after deadline, the teaching assistant will not take it. Right? And the teaching assistant doesn't take your assignment, the lecturer will not mark. So what will you get? Zero. You will get zero. So lecturers will not give you zero. If they give you zero, that will be the end. Maybe exams you pass, they give you IC. You know IC? Incomplete result. So you have to come back and write. Okay, so the submission will be on Friday at 10 a.m. on the dot. We are not going to entertain it. So a link will be provided to submit through the link. So you package your codes, your solution, your PowerPoint presentation, your documentations, anything you think is relevant to the product development. You package it in a folder, you zip it, and then you submit with your team name. Are you okay? So with your team name. So on Friday, there's going to be a 5-minute presentation. Just 5 minutes. So you're going to pitch your solution to judges. So we're going to have a panel of judges, about 5 or 6 judges on Friday, who will sit. Maybe, I don't know where we will do it. If it is here, you project and then you present your solution. Within 5 minutes, you should be able to convince them why you should be the winner of the 5,000. Right? You should be able to convince them within how many minutes? 5 minutes. So if we are working within 5 minutes, then it means that we should be mindful of what we can say on Friday. You are not coming to tell us something we heard in Sinyani. Now when he was his grandfather, did you say grandmother? His grandmother told him, and my boss said, no, my brother, go straight to the point. You have only 5 minutes. You are not coming to tell us stories here. Go straight to the point. Is that okay? So that is how it should be on Friday. Don't waste time saying things that are not necessary. So maybe as you start work today, you identify someone from your team who you think can clearly present, motivate your problem, and then link the problem to the solution. Are you okay? Linking the problem to the solution will help the judges to clearly understand the problem and what you have developed to solve the problem. All right. Okay. So at the end of the day, we are going to judge, and these are the indicators we use. These indicators and others, we may not be able to outline all of them, but these indicators are helping us. And as I indicated in the introductory statement, we want to see how best we can help develop and reach the start bank, help users have easy access to it. So even if you're going to build an AI on top of the start bank, that is also allowed. So that if I query the AI, I ask the AI anything, it's going to go into the start bank and fetch information. That is allowed. Anything you can develop. But we're going to judge you based on this. We want to see how well you are able to access and download data from the start bank. There are instances where people use data from the start bank. You ask them, which section of the start bank did you get the data from? They don't know. Is that okay? So we'll be assessing that. And the judges have a way of getting to understand whether you are really okay with getting data from the start bank. Because this is clearly the criteria for the statistical data hackathon. And then whether you are able to enrich the start bank data with other data sources. And as I indicated, the start bank houses only aggregated data. And maybe as you go into the data, I'll explain to you the difference between a micro data and then the data that is already aggregated, right? So that we can clearly understand at what level we are working. It is very critical for us. So how well am I able to use, for example, data from Ministry of Agri and combine it with data from start bank to develop a solution? So the judges will also look at that skill, the ability to combine different data sources to generate your solution. Then the solution you have developed, is it addressing a relevant policy question? You're not just building anything. You're not going to build cartoons. If you build cartoons and you can solve the problems, it's fine. But what I mean by we are not building cartoons is we are not building a solution that has no relevance. And I don't think we want to waste our 36 hours on that. Is that okay? So the 36 hours has to be put to good use. And then how innovative have you been able to use the combined data? So they'll be looking out for innovations and whether the product is beautiful. For example, if you are building an interactive dashboard, and the whole thing you are showing us is black, we can't see anything. How do we even judge? So also look at the beauty of if it's a web app, you want to look at how beautiful the interface is, right? And we know very well that as you develop your solution, there's always going to be the interface, which we call the front end, and then the behind, which is the kitchen, right? No one wants to see the kitchen. The restaurant is always beautiful. Okay, we want to see. So on the 5 minutes, you're not coming to present to us the kitchen. You're only serving us the food in the restaurant. And that is what we are going to face on. And then whether the product has clarity or maybe the message of the product is clear. We are not going to be confused. After presenting for 5 minutes, then we are going to ask you, can you help me understand what you have done? Then it means you have not convinced the judges. Is that not it? So it's not just about the presentation, but the product in itself should communicate clearly so that you, those who are listening to you, can clearly get what you. And then whether the product has a potential, as Madam mentioned, can we scale it up? If you get to the national round, mind you, you're going to compete. Just this November, you're going to be competing with 5 other technical universities from across the country. Okay? So once you are declared a winner here, or the winners from Accra Technical Universities are declared, you are going to represent not yourself, but you are going to represent your school in the national event. So we have 6 teams for the local competition. At the end of it, 3 of them will make it to the national competition. Are you okay? 3 of the teams will make it to the national. And when you get to the national competition, you don't know what your colleagues from other places are bringing. So you are building a product that when you get to the national, you can sell it. And Madam has already reiterated that the need for us to open ourselves up for this particular competition because it presents potentials for us. We don't know who will be watching you at the nationals. And I keep using this example. I remember last year when we did it for the traditional universities. At the nationals, we had employers present who were judges. So at the end of the day, people were employed directly. I know like 200 guys, computer science students from the University of Ghana, who gained immediate employment just by participating in the hackathon. So these are advantages you open yourself up. And as you are also competing, we are not fighting, we are just competing. You can also identify from other teams people who are good. So for future collaborations, you don't know what idea the person will be having. You may want to collaborate with the person to develop a solution that can take you very far. Are you okay? Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. So we have this opportunity. Let's utilize it. And then the quality of the presentation. If you are presenting and you can't talk, first of all, we are not even going to understand what you are presenting. So how you are able to arrange your work from the conceptualization, the problem, the objectives, the solution, and then the conclusion and policy recommendations. It is important we clearly get these things properly articulated so that the judges can judge you based on that. So there are going to be prizes. Your 36-hour marathon or hackathon is not going to be in vain. So the first place team, based on the judge's decision, I am not going to decide which first, right? The judges will witness your product, and at the end of the day, say that this team, let me see, script masters, na kosayo, which one? Maybe they are the winners, who knows? Then once the judges declare, then we hand an envelope containing 5,000 choppable Ghana cedis. That's how much in dollars. Don't try to convert. Should be discouraged. Okay. Then the first runner-up. The first runner-up is the second position. You go with 3,000. Then the third place, which is the second runner-up, goes. So if you compete and compete well, you can fall among the top 3. But there are 6 teams, so you just have to know that if you don't win, I mean, it's a game of chance, right? But you have to bring out your best. And then there is a possibility of the first place team making a presentation at a closing ceremony. So we're going to have a closing ceremony where the winners will be announced. And at that closing ceremony, the vice chancellor will be there, the government statisticians will be there, directors will be there. You have people from external environment, from the corporate world represented, people who have been invited. So once you declare the winner, there's a possibility that you will make a short presentation of what made you win, the 5,000. Then those who are there or those who did not witness the product development stage can also get to have a feel of the kind of products you have developed. Is that okay? Then at the end of the day, as I indicated, the top 3 teams, you are not just getting the 5,000, the 3,000, and the 2,000. You are also going to represent your university at the national hackathon. And at the national hackathon, if you attach the winners, you go home as a team with the 20,000 cities. Are you happy? Yeah, so there is a big future ahead, right? So at the national hackathon, you go with 20,000. The first runner up to go with 15,000, and then the second runner up to go home with 10,000. So you are going to have fun with data and still receive money. It's like footballers; they play the game a lot, and they are still being paid for playing. Right? Yeah, so you are going to have fun with data. You are going to develop innovations for yourselves, first of all. And that is why I say we need to see this as a great opportunity. First of all, it is for us. If you're able to develop it and market yourself properly, it is for your own good. Okay, and then the second thing is that you stand to win some money. So if you have to buy something, maybe in the development of your product, you may have to buy a hosting right. I don't know. You can spend some money to pay for it because if you win, you get 5,000. But if you buy and you don't win, don't come and ask me. So now we have all the rules, except there is a question any of you want to ask. Now that you know what is good, what you are supposed to do, what the hackathon is about, we can only wish you the best of luck and be with you from now to Friday to see the kind of innovations you bring up. I'll end here and open the floor for discussions. Then after that, we can have our lunch as directed. Then we come back and look at the start bank into details. Then we can understand how to access data from the start bank. Thank you very much. The floor is open. Any questions? Please feel free and ask questions. If you make presentations and there are no questions, there are 2 things involved. One of it is that no one understood what you did, not what you said. The second one is that you were so clear that there is no question. And me, I always align with positivity. I can't go with negativity. So I want to believe whatever I said is clear now, but ask questions, right? Any question? You're okay. Hey, you don't disgrace me.
So, my question is, would it be accepted to borrow something, live there, go to national show to borrow something else, or you are tied to the first thing?
Thank you very much. You see, it's a game of low formation, right? Right? But I mean, once you develop a solution, the expectation is that you have to scale it up for the national. But if during nationals you think you have new ideas that I mean is better than what you had during the competition, we are free to bring it up. And if that can be a winning solution for you, yeah. Is that okay? Yeah. Yes. Any question? Can it affect the more international? You want to go international? Yeah, now you have not finished something that you want to go international. Okay. I mean, we are focusing on the start bank, mind you. And if I'm building anything, and on the start bank, the only data we are posting is data for Ghana. Do you understand? So it will be difficult to say I want to use start bank to build a problem and use international data to develop a solution. I'm not sure how that's going to work. It's not a KPI for that. But I mean, if you develop it and contextualize it for Ghana, and it is you are replicating for other countries, why not? And also initiate that aspect of the solution where it is possible to scale it up further. I think that will also be good. Any question? Yes.
My name is Francis. The question is, if at the end of this competition, the first three groups that will be taken from to represent this group, for instance, the project that they will use to win, will they be developing a new project like one particular project to represent the school or the three different projects?
Okay. Okay, so his question is those who win the top three that will be representing the best when they get to the national hackathon, are they going to come together to develop one solution? Or so when you get to the national hackathon, the three of you, even though you are representing the best, but you are still developing your individual solutions. Is that okay? You are not coming together. No, you are not coming together. We want to see a lot of people. Yes, sir. That's it.
That's a good one. A good question. I think it's three. The first, second, and third going for the national. Anything can happen there. The solution, if you work on it and you present it at the national level, anything can happen. The third can be different.
Yes, it happened.
Anything, once you have first three, and then you go to the national. Remember, there are three other teams coming versus the other five, all going to compete for the first position, first, second, and third as well. So though your product can be the third at your institution, when you get to the national, it's a different ball game, but still, it's still what? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Derek.
We can happen. That's all the three who remains from here will also win 1, 2, 3. So in that case, will it be for the school or as individual? Or let's assume that so that happens.
All right. Is it okay? So this thing has to be explained clearly about representing the school or whether the students are going to represent themselves and all that. Now, the only thing the school stand to gain is the bragging rights that we want the national happening. But again, the product is going to be a collaboration between the teams and that Statistical. But again, once the school wins, the school is happy, right? But the benefits, if there are, the 20,000 doesn't come to the school, then it's very it goes to the teams. Yes, it goes to the teams, not the school. So if it happens that all ATU top three wins big at the national, it still goes to the teams. But the declaration will be that the winners of the 2024 statistical data hackathon came from it. That is the bracket. So it's not. So we need to get that particular aspect. And what my mother indicated, last year, for instance, there was a team from UCC. They were third. They were the second in UCC. When we came for national, they were first. And then the first team in UCC did not even make the top three. Hello? So it's like that. We always have to work, and once you are declared to go for the nationals, you need to continue developing your solution. You don't end until you are invited for the national. You keep developing. So that by the time you get to the national, you have perfected the solution. Then you are good to go. So that is more like a stepping stone for you. So maybe within the national, it's not going to be 36 hours anymore. When you do more than 36 hours. I remember how many hours you did last year, but I know it wasn't 36. But tomorrow in the evening at 6 p.m., we're going to have what we call mock presentations. 5 p.m. Okay, so 5 p.m. All right, because I wasn't here. So 5 p.m. we'll be having mock presentations. Now the mock presentation is going to help us. It's going to help mentors and other experts around see what you have started doing and see how we can help you reshape it. In case you are going, you are becoming over ambitious. Right. So the hours, and by close of day tomorrow, you will only be left about 12 hours or so to be wrapping up. So for you to say you still want to build things that we know you can build, we'll guide you as to how to stay within the limits that will be reasonable. So tomorrow at 5, yes, there's going to be no presentation. There's going to be here. So let's take note of that.
My question is, please, my question is, assuming you are developing an app, let's say within the 36 hours, you're not able to finish with the app. Can they allow you to use that to present? Then, in case you need help, you have to go to the national.
Okay. Yeah, that's a clear question. If you have not finished, and that is where the word was there, don't be a perfectionist, right? If you have not finished, present wherever you have gotten to the judges and leave it for them to decide whether you will win or not. Is that okay? So wherever you get to, that is where you present. Don't say you won't present because you haven't finished. Then you're already out of the competition. Is that okay? So wherever you get to. If by close of day tomorrow, you are which I believe no team say the only thing we are able to do is objectives. So right. So we need to work hard from now to tomorrow evening. Then we'll see what you have done. Direct you, and then you continue the whole night to the next morning, Friday, 10 a.m. You do your submissions, you present. Now, note that you are free to work at any time. There's no closing time, and there's no starting time. Are you okay? But there is only an end time, which is 10 a.m. on Friday. You can't go beyond that. Okay, yes. There is no template, and that is why the statement was that interpret the hackathon the way you want it. If we give you template, we'll be restricting somebody else. If the person has wild thoughts, innovations that we cannot even put in a template, so we allow people. And even for the presentation, you may decide that you don't want to do a presentation slide, but you want to present your solution. With an app or with an AI, you want to illustrate to judges how it works, to highlight the problem, the solution, and then how the solution works. And interactive dashboards, if that is the only thing you want to show. You don't necessarily have to develop a PowerPoint presentation. Please are you together? If it's a web page you have developed, we demonstrate that to us and show the functionalities of the page. And then we look at that. So the judges will judge based on what they see. So don't if you also want to present a PowerPoint presentation, that is also allowed. You don't necessarily want to do that. You don't say the final one I see. Okay. The template I see is an iPhone. I will say web. So maybe that will be later. Yes. So after that, say we
mind body you cannot go outside this. Let us also take advantage of the experience you had. The 5 minutes that we talk about, we realize that we don't say that you are going to sell your product within the 5 minutes. And now the particular team on the company, 5 minutes I remember we did a team, a simple communicate plan. And yet they assigned that duty to another person who was struggling to communicate. And so for some of us, we are not good communicators. That doesn't mean that you are not good. Okay? And so look at your strength and see what each person can do when it comes to the presentation, the panel presentation. Get somebody who will be able to communicate and sell the product within that 5 minutes. Then the final observation has to do with the process. Again, Simon talked about it. And we noticed that some people were wrongly interpreting some of our concepts. And so a team, for instance, was talking about food inflation. And you notice that they didn't know what inflation is about. They struggled to explain that. And so if you go to our website, there are so many resources there, so that once you are looking at a particular area, try to read around that so that you can effectively communicate when you are presenting your product. Thank you.
Thank you very much, boss. I'm grateful. All right. Any other? Okay. You wanted to ask? You asked a question? Keep the last one.
The auditorium, I heard that if you use only the Ghana side, you are out. Yeah. So I don't know if you can use only that one without adding.
No. You are not out. Nobody is out. Okay, first of all. Once you said in the auditorium, she had it, you do any kind of stuff. That's everything that you are out.
I said that way once.
So I think it is the opposite. If you use data from only outside, you are not out. Once you are selected here, it's the judges who determine whether you are outside. The judges criteria outlined will show you that you don't need to do this, or maybe the caveat you must use GSS data. The development of this. Yes, you wanted to ask a question? Okay. Last question. Then we have that.
So you showed us the judging indicators. I want to know whether there is like any preference for some of the indicators and there are some of the indicators that are more prioritized.
Thank you very much. So we'll show you the judging criteria where we have assigned scores to each of the indicators. Is that okay? I think with the exception of one indicator, all the other indicators have same scores. I can't recall, but one of the indicators have 20 marks. There are 9 of them going for 100 points. So definitely one of them will have 20 marks. So the scoring, I don't think we have a lot of preference. Maybe the indicator having the 20 points is because of the weight it carries, maybe the kind of work that it involves to get that particular indicator. But otherwise, the remaining 8 has the same scores of 10. All right. At this point, if there's no question,
No, if there's no question.
question, what has out of it from experience. Your product must be novel or innovative, something that is unique. Thank you. Thank you. What I'm saying is that that's from our observation. Your product must be innovative, novel, something unique. That's what we expect from you. And then having in mind, Simon indicated that it's only 5 minutes presentation. So that is why we also rely on the mentors to help them, to help our mentees to be able to conceptualize the kind of solution that they propose it, or the kind of problem that they want to solve, how they conceptualize it, and then being able to link the problem to the solution within 5 minutes. And it's so critical. So I will encourage all of you to pay attention to this. Thank you. Simon, over. Thank you very much. Any question? Or engage the question? Okay. So,
I think one you asked that question whether it's good for you to think international. So there is this urban planner he's a Scottish. He's called Patrick Geeks. You can go and look for him. He says that you have to think global, but you act local. So like Simon rightly said, there is data locally available. You have a global mind, you get it, an innovation in mind, which is global in its nature. But think of the local solution first, and then it will affect the global standards. Okay. Yeah, that's why we are even linking the whole thing to the Sustainable Development Goals, which is also a UN goal that goes global. Okay. So your linking of your solution should always be linked to that thing that will affect first Ghana or your local community, and then now upscale to the global stage. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. I think that is one thing we didn't mention again. The SDGs. The fact that the solutions is created is one of them. And if you look at the broad teams, so we have the teams. That's what my boss mentioned. If you look at those teams that we are operating with, so that we can clearly understand. I wanted to ask a question.
Whether the presentation is fully restricted to listening or
Whether the presentation is one person or anyone, or all of you can present. So definitely for 5 minutes, one person present, but if it gets to the questioning time, any member of the group can answer. Is that okay? But you decide among yourself who you want to talk within the 5 minutes. And you can even segment your solution that you talk on the problem, I will talk on the methods, maybe you talk on the solution. You can do that. But at the end of the day, the team should clearly present whatever they do. Is it clear? All right.
There are multiple speakers. The challenge is that it's changing over sometimes. And so you need to think about all these and make sure that it doesn't affect you.
Okay, so at this point, I want to close the session for now. Then we have lunch, right? And after lunch, we come back. Lunch is going to be for 30 minutes. Is it too much? 30 is okay. 30 minutes. Then we come back and introduce ourselves to the Start Bank and any other data source and leverage on. Are you okay? All right. So see you after 30 minutes.